So it's MWC24 in Barcelona, a really, really busy show. Great to have Tareq Amin here with us today. Tareq, of course, is now the CEO at Aramco Digital. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your schedule.
Pleasure being with you.
Good to see you again. So a lot of people know you, of course, from your Rakuten days. How did you get to Aramco Digital from Rakuten? Just tell us quickly about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the stage of where I was, looking at the opportunities that exist, I really wanted to take that next chapter in my life, something to do, another large startup. I've been in telco all my life. The opportunity to really go into a different verticals, different industry, presented a remarkable opportunity. And especially if you align that with what's happening in Saudi Arabia, it aligns extremely well with a very ambitious vision that the government has set as part of the 2030 vision to build a new digital economy. I felt that this is a great opportunity to really build and enable a country like Saudi Arabia that has incredible potential and capability to really build a digital champion and a digital hub for the region.
Okay. So Aramco Digital is relatively new and people are kind of still finding out about it. So can you tell us about what is the strategy? What is Aramco Digital doing?
Yeah, so I mean, the basic thing, maybe I will tell you, our entire business model, when we started thinking about the concept of idea of Aramco Digital, which is 100% subsidiaries of Saudi Aramco, one of the world's largest companies that really been doing a phenomenal job in delivering to their core business, is Aramco Digital has been established to be one of key strategic diversification pillars from traditional business. And when we sat down with my management team and talked about, okay, where is the value that we could add and address the problem statement that we see in the region and across the world, our entire business model really revolves around a basic concept called data value chain, which means data origination, which is Aramco connectivity, data storage and transportation, the cloud, data security for cybersecurity, and the analytics that you apply on top of this data, and the various digital solution platform. So with Aramco Digital, we went with 6 business segments. These are the 6 business segments that I believe every enterprise, every industry would require and need to go from where they are to where would they need to be in terms of digital maturity, from connectivity to cloud, data and AI, cybersecurity, sustainability, and customer solutions and services. So this has really been our go-to-market approach. So, of course, we are an MWC, one of the world's largest telecom events, and I'm here talking about a small segment, which is the private 5G enablement for industry. But this is one pillar of 6 that we're going to be able to deliver to the marketplace.
Okay. So the focus right now is very much on enterprise needs. Yeah?
Correct. It's and when we say enterprise, it really captures both the industrial and non-industrial as well. That include the government as well.
Okay. And focused on the Saudi market just now, and then spreading out from there? Or?
So the first thing, I think when this is my 3rd time that I take a very large, ambitious project, and I learned always start with making sure your foundation is strong. So I want to make sure that our headquarters is in Saudi. And before thinking about regional global expansion, I want to make sure that our base is very solid and very strong in terms of people, talent, and the right organization in place in order for us to scale. But the objective for Aramco Digital is definitely not just only local. So the company has different phases of maturity. We will make sure that we grow responsibly and be a dominant player in the Saudi market, and then expand to Middle East, North Africa, and look selectively for international markets.
Okay. So at the moment you're focused on the connectivity side of things, and we'll come to a bit of that in a few minutes, but you also mentioned, of course, AI, and literally you can't walk 5 yards in here without hearing it mentioned or seeing it up somewhere. What kind of approach are you taking to, and obviously you've mentioned data quite a lot, and the data feeds the AI. So what's your strategy here? How are you going about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you asked this question, because obviously, I mean, not just only in this show, but the whole world has been really jumping, trying to find, okay, what do I do with this large language model? Well, how do I employ a Gen AI type of a use case inside my organization? So for us, we have a really big product we call Noor OS. Noor, the word Noor in Arabic means light.
Okay.
And this is a new enterprise operating system that has Gen AI. However, the large language models that we deploy are also secured, meaning they're deployed on-prem. So for your own data privacy, data integrity, data security, we think that really addresses the enterprise feature requirement. But as you mentioned as well, AI means nothing without having next generation unified data platform architecture. So we actually have three components in this enterprise OS. One is the Gen AI component, the second one is the data platform, and the third one, which I think is the unique approach for us, is the intent. When you go to the prompt, declare or ask a question, or ask not just only a question, an action you want to carry, is our orchestration layer is very powerful, taking your intent, integrating with backend systems, and carrying on the actions. So let me give you a specific example. We just did an integration with Intel on FlexRAN architecture, and the goal was very simple. I said, look, there are trivial use cases for telecom AI. If I want to provision an entire core network, or CU, DU for OpenRAN, my entire desire was, why can't we just speak as if I'm speaking to a human? So, okay, provision site 001. Unlike magic, this should happen. All of the complexities of integrating, turn up, activation, is seamlessly done. Now, luckily, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of people have done great work on creation of these open source models. We have to do fine tuning on the model to address telecom specific use cases. But in fact, in less than 30 days, we have now shown in real environment the production and the provisioning of entire control functions of a policy controller or IMS core or CU or DU by just speaking.
Wow.
I mean, just think about this. So I know how long it takes to do this operation side of things. It typically takes days. And now we're talking about 6 to 10 minutes to do all of this. Just declare your intent, and then action is carried through. We have created the smart orchestrator that knows how to take the action and carry this out through the various cloud components associated with the infrastructure. So that, to me, okay, not like we're not talking about a sophisticated AI use case, but this is a good one actually. It's a good one to start with.
Okay.
And I think in general, my feeling about AI, if you focus on the use cases, clarity will come. Then all of a sudden you start really looking at it and say, okay, how could this really help my organization? How do I see efficiency? But I would always want to start with something simple. In our case, we created firstly the platform, this unified platform to allow any application on top of it to be built agnostic of what it is. It could be OpenRAN, it could be HR, it could be finance, legal. So I'm excited about this, to be honest with you. There's a lot of cool things that is going to come through Aramco Digital in the next few months,
Okay.
and real products that we could show to the market.
Okay, sounds exciting, and I think this is the kind of thing that the people are looking for. Everybody's hearing a lot about how AI is going to impact the industry, but everybody wants the specifics, basically.
Correct.
Want to see how it can really work. Now, you mentioned, you're closely associated with OpenRAN, obviously from previous years, and this is something you're taking into this job. So you must be keeping an eye on all the developments going on in the industry and how it can be used in the enterprise. How are you seeing things develop in terms of OpenRAN, its maturity, its applicability to enterprises in general these days? I
mean, I think if you recall, you've been here coming quite frequent. If we go back just 2 years ago, it was really fear, uncertainty, and doubt is what I would have labeled OpenRAN and its adoption into the marketplace. Not just adoption as in deployment, but people acceptance. This technology has a merit, it has an advantage. And I think we are out of this debate. It is no doubt to me that a majority, if not all mobile operators worldwide understood that a software-centric network derives better efficiency, better enhancement, and better productivity across the board. I think we're no longer arguing really this aspect of why OpenRAN makes sense. It is not just about the interface is being open, that I could integrate different components from different vendors. But I think everybody started to understand, I get it now. With this software approach, what I could build on top of it is actually the secret sauce.
Yeah.
So I think that has happened. That's really, really big plus. Now we got into really big announcement. I'm sure you've seen the announcement that happened with Ericsson and AT&T in the US, right? And a lot of good momentum that I think that will generate. Nokia really jumping very heavily into this area. So I think the momentum is there now, right? I think still, to me, for OpenRAN to really, really prove itself, there must be one large brownfield deployment. You know, if you ask me, this is really one of those challenges I wish I could have solved, but this requires a much larger ecosystem collaboration to do one brownfield deployment. And then once that happens, I just think it's going to open up the floodgate for a massive transformation into this new architecture.
Okay, excellent. Well, Tareq, I know you've got
Thank you.
a lot of people to meet here, a lot of people to talk to. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to see you again, and hope to speak to you again soon.
Hopefully so. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.